country reports 52 deaths from coronavirus in the last 24 hours. Record 5,358 people, new cases. Public transport carrying half of the passengers than capacity. 60% fare increase has come into effect. 12th session of the 11th Jatiya Shongshod begins at 11 in the morning tomorrow. The session lasts 3 working days only. BNP's demand for resignation of government is undemocratic, says Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir. Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood urges journalists to make people confident and optimistic in news reporting, in addition to criticizing in a constructive manner. Metro rail coach reaches Mongla port. Unloading begins. D8 summit begins in Dhaka on 5th April. Bangladesh to float new proposal on Rohingya issue at the summit. 23 countries back pandemic treaty to deal with future emergencies. Global death toll from coronavirus surpassed 28,19,000. And torch of Bangabandhu 9th Bangladesh Games reaches Dhaka. The Games formally opens tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to News at 10 on BTV, BTV World and BTV Chattogram Center. I'm Imtiaz Ahmed Siddiqui. You just heard the headlines. Let's move on to the details of those and other stories. "52 COVID-19 patients died in the country in the last 24 hours, taking the death toll to 9,046. The tally of infections rose to 6,11,295 with 5,358 new cases. A press release of the Directorate General of Health Services confirmed this today. The recovery count rose to 5,52,399 after another 2,219 recovered during the period. A number of coronavirus infected patients is surging in the country every day. However, the government has already taken necessary measures to put a brake on the bullish trend of the virus. But many people are yet to maintain health safety guidelines when they go outside, especially in shopping malls, kitchen markets or other public places. Meanwhile, a 60% hike in the bus fare has come into effect from this morning as the government directed to run public transport with half of its capacity in a bid to contain coronavirus infections across the country. Health experts stress the need for ensuring health guidelines strictly, including wearing masks and maintaining social distancing to stop the spread of the deadly coronavirus. The 12th session of the 11th Parliament will begin from tomorrow. Health protocols will be maintained as the session will begin amid the corona pandemic situation, and the journalists have been asked to collect the news from the Shongshod Bangladesh television. The 12th session will be of 3 sittings only due to outbreak of coronavirus in the country. Earlier on March 15, President Mohammad Abdul Hamid summoned the 12th session of the 11th Parliament, exercising the power bestowed upon him as per Clause 1 of the Article 71 of the Constitution. Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry said child labour can be eliminated globally through poverty alleviation, mitigation of inequality, inclusive development and amendment of prevailing laws. She said this as she was connected virtually to the opening function of a campaign titled No Child Labour, Fair Share to End Exploitation. The speaker said under the leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, country's poverty rate has declined from 40% to 20%. Expressing hope that child labour will be completely eliminated in Bangladesh by 2025, the speaker said government has adopted a number of measures, including amendment of current laws to ensure social security of the children. Executive Director of Mass Literacy Movement Rashida K. Chaudhry chaired the function that was attended by Nobel laureate Kailash Satyarthi, parliamentarians Arma Datta, Fazle Hussain Badshah and Shirin Akhtar. Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir has said BNP's urge about resignation of the government is an undemocratic demand. He said this demand is ridiculous. People have given the power to the government for a certain period. Election will be held in due time as per the constitution after the expiry of the government's tenure. Obaidul Qadir said this while briefing to media through online from his official residence in the capital today, urging the BNP to stand beside the corona-infected people and not to do blind criticizing the government. Obaidul Qadir said BNP should maintain health safety guidelines and to inspire others to follow it. This is the responsibility of the patriotic citizens.
জনবিচ্ছিন্নতা আড়াল করতে সরকারের পদত্যাগ দাবি করছে। তারা যে আন্দোলন এবং নির্বাচনে ব্যর্থ হয়েছে এবং গত 12 বছরে বারবার আন্দোলনের ডাক দিয়ে জনগণের সাড়া পায়নি, নির্বাচনেও তারা ব্যর্থ হয়েছে। কাজে আন্দোলন নির্বাচনে ব্যর্থতার জন্য বিএনপির নেতৃত্বকে টপ টু বটম পদত্যাগ করা উচিত। ঢাকা, ব্রাহ্মণবাড়িয়া ও চট্টগ্রামে সুবর্ণ জয়ন্তী অনুষ্ঠানকালে তাণ্ডব চালিয়েছিল, তার সাথে বিএনপির কোনো যোগাযোগ নেই এবং যারা এই তাণ্ডব লীলা চালিয়েছে তাদের সাথেও কোনো সম্পর্ক নেই। আসলে কথাটা শুনলে মনে হয় ঠাকুর ঘরে কেড়ে আমি কলা খাই না। যারা ভারত সফর করে এয়ারপোর্টে এসে সাংবাদিকদের প্রশ্নের উত্তরে বলে গঙ্গার পানি বন্টনের কথা তারা বলতেই ভুলে গেছে, তাদের মুখে তিস্তা সহ অভিন্ন নদীর পানি বন্টনের কথা এখন মানায় না। আমি বিএনপি নেতাদের বলবো সরকারের অন্ধ সমালোচনা না করে বরং করোনাকালে আজ মানুষের পাশে দাঁড়িয়ে দায়িত্বশীল ভূমিকা পালন করতে বলবো।
Earlier, the Road Transport and Bridges Minister and Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir has taken first dose of corona vaccine at Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib Medical University. Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood has urged journalists to publish news that will make people aspiring and resolute, along with the news of constructive criticism. He made the call as he spoke to the 37th founding anniversary function of the daily Amadir Shomoy at Tejgao in the capital today. Fisheries and Livestock Minister S.M. Rizal Karim and State Minister for Shipping Khalid Mahmood Chaudhry were present.
কিছু ধারণা আছে যে গুড নিউজ ইজ নো নিউজ, ব্যাড নিউজ ইজ গুড নিউজ। সেই ধারণা অনেক ক্ষেত্রে রাষ্ট্রকে বিকাশ করার ক্ষেত্রে, সমাজকে গড়ার ক্ষেত্রে প্রতিবন্ধক হয়। অবশ্যই যেটি ভালো সংবাদ নয় সেটিও প্রকাশিত হবে, যেটি ভালো সংবাদ সেটিও প্রকাশিত হবে। পত্রিকা সমাজের দর্পণ হিসাবে যেমন কাজ করবে, আজকে রাষ্ট্রকে যারা খামচে ধরতে চাচ্ছে তাদের মুখ সম্মোচিত হবে এই পত্রিকার মাধ্যমে। এবং একই সাথে আমাদের মানুষ যাতে প্রত্যয়ী হয়, স্বপ্ন দেখে এবং স্বপ্নের ঠিকানায় দেশকে নিয়ে যাওয়ার জন্য সম্মিলিতভাবে কাজ করে আশাবাদী হয়, সেই আশার জায়গাটাও তৈরি করতে হবে, আশাটাও জাগাতে হবে।
As I said earlier, Fisheries and Livestock Minister S.M. Rizal Karim and State Minister for Shipping Khalid Mahmood Chaudhry were present at the function. The vessel carrying the first set of metro rail coaches anchored at the Mongla port and began unloading. The SPM Bangkok carrying coaches for the Dhaka Metro Rail has arrived yesterday. Earlier, a mother vessel with 6 coaches left Kobe port in Japan for Mongla port in Bangladesh on March 4. According to the project detail, integrated tests of the Mass Rapid Transit MRT Line 6 will be carried out before formal operation, and the trial runs will also be carried out after the integrated test of the metro rail sets. The 10th D8 Summit will be held virtually from April 5 to 8 next. The theme of the summit is participation for global change, freedom of youth and technology power. Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen disclosed this at a virtual press conference today. He said Bangladesh will present new proposal about Rohingya crisis in the summit. The Foreign Minister said Bangladesh will take the chair of D8 for next 2 years following the summit. He expressed hope that Bangladesh will be able to present its development and success before the D8 countries as well as the world through the upcoming summit. International news now. Leaders of the European Union, the World Health Organization (WHO) and 23 countries expressed support for an international pandemic treaty to help the world better address future global medical emergencies. The world leaders, along with the WHO and the EU, signed a commentary expressing support for such an agreement. The United States, China and Russia are not among the signatories. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said the treaty would help to tackle gaps exposed by COVID-19, strengthen implementation of international health regulations, and provide a framework for cooperation in areas such as pandemic prevention and response. Meanwhile, COVID-19 global death toll crosses 28,18,000. More than 12,89,50,000 people have been infected globally, and more than 10,40,35,000 people have recovered from the virus so far. The United States, the current epicenter of the corona pandemic, has now over 3,10,98,000 confirmed cases and more than 5,64,000 deaths. Egypt has begun a formal investigation into how a giant container ship blocked the Suez Canal and disrupted global trade for almost a week. Suez Canal authorities said experts would board the Ever Given to be obtained data relevant to the incident. The probe will examine the vessel's seaworthiness and the crew's actions. The Ever Given has been anchored in the Great Bitter Lake, the canal's midway point, since being refloated on Monday. The 400-meter-long 220,000-ton ship became wedged diagonally across the waterway on 23 March after running aground amid high winds and a sandstorm that affected visibly. Ambassador of Saudi Arabia to Bangladesh Isa Youssef Al Duhalan made a courtesy call on Industries Minister Nurul Majid Mahmood Humayun at his office today. During the call-on, they discussed various issues of bilateral interests. The Industries Minister urged the government and entrepreneurs of Saudi Arabia to build different kinds of industries in Bangladesh. The Saudi ambassador said his country will always remain beside Bangladesh as a friend like the past. Bangabandhu Chair has been opened once again at Germany's Heidelberg University after 1.5 decades, closing former Vice-Chancellor of National University Professor Dr. Harun Rashid has achieved this professorial fellowship this year. Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen said this after attending at a virtual media briefing today. Professorial Fellow Professor Dr. Harun Rashid, University Grants Commission Chairman Dr. Qazi Shahidullah, Senior Secretary of the Foreign Ministry Masood bin Momen, German Ambassador to Bangladesh Peter Farnholz and Bangladesh Ambassador to Germany Mohammad Musharraf Hussain Bhuiya took part in the meeting. The Foreign Minister said foreign students can learn about politics, economy and history of Bangladesh through this fellowship. Bangabandhu Chair at Heidelberg University will boost cultural and mutual cooperation between Bangladesh and Germany and will open a new era of relationship, he added. A U-loop and a foot-over bridge are being constructed at signboard of Narayanganj on Dhaka-Chattogram highway to ease traffic movement and pave the way for pedestrian. Signboard and Madanpur bus stand are two busiest spots of Dhaka-Chattogram highway. Tens of thousands of people cross the road daily by walking, besides movement of transport of 16 districts of eastern region. People of the area facing severe problem to cross the road. As per their demand, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has directed to build a U-loop and a foot overbridge to overcome the crisis. Besides, more U-loops will be built at Shimrail, Kachpur and Mugrapara intersections, which will decrease accident and harassment of people. And now, sports news. The torch of Bangabandhu 9th Bangladesh Games reached the capital today. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is expected to inaugurate the Games virtually tomorrow. Former cricketer Ghazi Ashraf Lipu and footballer Sheikh Mohammad Aslam handed over the torch of the Games to State Minister for Youth and Sports Mohammad Zahid Ahsan Russell at Bangladesh Olympic Association Bhavan this afternoon. Secretary General of Bangladesh Olympic Association Syed Shahid Riza and Vice President and Steering Committee Chairman Sheikh Bashir Ahmed Mamoon, among others, were present on the occasion. Early in the morning, President of Bangladesh Olympic Association and Army Chief General Aziz Ahmed lighted the torch of Bangabandhu 9th Bangladesh Games 2021 at Tungipara in Gopalganj, the birthplace of Father of the Nation Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Later, 22 present and former athletes of different disciplines carried the torch at Bangladesh Olympic Association Bhavan in the capital from Gopalganj. Bangladesh national Kabaddi team reached the final of the Bangabandhu Cup 2021 International Kabaddi Tournament as the table topper today. In the last match of league phase, the host beat Sri Lanka by 33 to 31 points in the nail-biting match at the Shahid Noor Hussain Volleyball Stadium in the capital. Bangladesh was leading by 14 to 9 points in the first half of the match. Zakir Hussain was adjudged man of the match. The other team of the tournament are Nepal, Poland and Kenya. The final of the tournament will be held on 2nd April. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Country reports 52 deaths from coronavirus in the last 24 hours. Record 5,358 people, new cases. Public transport carrying half of the passengers then capacity. 60% fare increase has come into effect. 12th session of 11th Jatiyo সংসদ begins at 11 in the morning. Tomorrow the session lasts 3 working days only. BNP's demand for resignation of government is undemocratic, says Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir. Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood urges journalists to make people confident and optimistic in news reporting, in addition to criticizing in a constructive manner. Metro rail coach reaches Mongla Port, unloading begins. D8 summit begins in Dhaka on 5th April. Bangladesh to float new proposal on Rohingya issue at the summit. "23 countries back pandemic treaty to deal with future emergencies. Global death toll from coronavirus surpassed 28,19,000. And torch of Bangabandhu 9th Bangladesh Games reaches Dhaka. The Games formally opens tomorrow. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us. Our next bulletin is coming up at 11:30 in Bangla. Until then, Khuda Hafiz.